Testing.
Welcome back to Let's Unpack That. It's a podcast where we two college graduates read books that we read in middle school and talk about them from literary and socio-political perspectives. We're back for season 2, baby!
Woo! Season 2. I'm Nina. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time listening, hi. How are you? Nice to meet you. And if you haven't listened to season 1, you don't have to for this season, but I think we're pretty funny. So if you feel like listening to that one after you finish this episode, feel free to do so. And again, this is season 2, and we are ready to announce what we are going to be doing for our next book.
Yes,
Lydia?
I'm Lydia, and we are reading The Hunger Games.
Ta-da! We're going to insert the whistle here. Great.
Okay, cool. And also on a note of you don't have to listen to season 1. If you don't like thinking about the existence of Twilight, you don't have to put yourself through that. But The Hunger Games comes with a lot more political stuff for Nina to talk about and ethical stuff for me. It's
yes,
a buffet for us both.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's how she got me in. We were trying to figure out which book we wanted to do, and it was a tie between this one and another one. And finally, Lydia goes, well, you can talk about the politics of the Hunger Games. And, ooh, if that wasn't the sexiest thing anyone's ever said to me, I don't know what is.
I always say the sexiest things, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're reading The Hunger Games. Nina, what did you think of The Hunger Games when you read it? Because I think it came out when we were either in late middle school or early high school.
I definitely read it in the 7th grade, and I remember that because I just started at a new school, and I loved it. I thought it was the best book ever. I thought Katniss was super cool. I think right around 8th grade is when they introduced the movie concept. But no, the Hunger Games was one that I jumped in on, and everyone was reading it, and I was so hooked. I remember I actually borrowed a copy of the book from a friend of mine who is the one who introduced me to the story. And she goes, oh my God, as soon as I finish this book, you're going to read it and you're going to love it. And she was right. And I did. And I remember after that, everyone wanted to learn how to shoot a bow and arrow afterwards. And I actually know someone who went into competitive archery. So she actually went and had like this big ass fucking composite bow. It was bright blue. And I went to go watch one of her shooting competitions once. It was nuts. It was also super cool. But no, I loved The Hunger Games. I thought it was great. I don't remember having very specific feelings about Katniss or... I don't know. I can't really say I had certain feelings one way or the other about many of the characters. I remember not feeling like, and again, this is not a spoiler-free podcast for those of you who have never heard of or read or even watched The Hunger Games, but I remember being very torn between Peeta and Gale as part of that, like, oh, which one should Katniss choose? Because, obviously I was 13 and that's all I thought that mattered. But I also really just loved the story, and I thought it was a great example of what the future could hold if we're not careful. I don't know. I guess I was woke as a 13-year-old thinking, hey, this could actually happen.
I mean, it could. And in our first episode, you have some justifications for that.
Yeah. What did you think?
I read this, I think, freshman year of high school because I was behind on everything. All the trends. I was too busy reading Lord of the Rings and catching up on Harry Potter, which I hadn't even heard of until the 7th grade.
What?
I know. But I read it, and I remember I borrowed a friend's copy of the first book, and I left a tear stain on the page where Rue dies.
Oh, no.
Because I cried reading the book.
That again.
But I remember I loved the series. I really related to Katniss. At that point, I already knew how to shoot a bow and arrow, so I felt really cool. And I also am exceptionally good at braiding hair, so I could do the Dutch braid without anybody having to intervene for me.
It's true. She's very good at braiding hair.
Yeah, and now I just cut it all off, so...
Bummer.
Eventually, I'll have it again. But it's also hard to do a French braid with an undercut because it just ends so quickly.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I related a lot to Katniss, partly because of her little sister. at the time that I read this, I would have been 14, but my sister is 3.5 years younger than me, which makes it the same age gap between Katniss and Prim. And so I really related to that. And even though my
Right.
sister was an annoying little shit at that time, I think
Hmm.
we weren't having problems or anything. So I could totally understand like volunteering in her place. So that's the dark side of that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I already liked archery. It's a tradition in my family that when a kid turns 10, you teach them how to shoot a bow and arrow.
I didn't
And
know that.
yeah, that's how I learned. My aunt taught me in Sacramento. And actually, I have that bow now in my room. I actually tried shooting a composite bow a couple of months ago with our friend, and it was too heavy for me.
Oh no. Oh
But
dear.
you can change the weight settings, but we didn't
Yeah.
know how to do that. So I had to bring my
Mm.
own bow. BYOB, bring your own bow. I also, at some point between freshman and sophomore year, no, between sophomore and junior year, I think, I wrote Hunger Games fan fiction,
Excellent. Excellent.
which I don't think you knew.
No, I didn't know, but I approve of it already.
I don't
What
even
did you
know.
write about?
It was a bunch of original characters, and basically the world had fallen to the point where the government had decided actually to start the Hunger Games. And so these two original characters got chosen and had to deal with everything. And I remember I didn't finish writing this fan fiction, but I remember
Hmm.
that at the end, the big twist that I was going to have was that my narrator was going to die, and then it
Oh
was
my
going to switch
gosh.
narration. So that was where I was at age 14.
I love it. No, that's such a great plot twist. It's kind of like what they did in the Divergent series.
I have not interacted with anything related to Divergent aside from maybe watching 10 minutes of the first movie.
I read the first two books, watched the movie, mostly for Shailene Woodley. That's about as far as I got.
Hold on. I'm on fanfiction.net. I'm trying to see if it's still up.
Well, while you're doing that, we also wanted to touch on why, one of the other reasons that we chose the Hunger Games, and that is because Suzanne Collins, who wrote the original trilogy, actually recently announced that she's going to be doing a prequel book. And just last week, she announced the title and the book cover. So the
Really?
title of, yeah.
Nice. Oh, by the way, I just found my old fanfiction.net account, and I deleted all of my stories in a fit of
No.
drama in 2015. I still have them
Uh,
somewhere,
you better find them.
but they're not online anymore. So, sorry,
Mm.
everyone.
Bummer. So it's called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So
Ooh.
that's pretty cool. The cover itself is very green, I think. Let me see. Let me pull up a picture of it. Yes. So it's very green. It has the Mockingjay on it. And it actually looks like a version of the first book with Katniss's favorite, or famous, I shouldn't say favorite, with her famous Mockingjay pin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's representative of that. And just to plug away at Susan Collins, it looks like that prequel is going to be coming out on May 19th of 2020. So perhaps I will pick it up and read it and give you guys a glance at it and see what I think. But, and I'll be honest that I kind of fell away from the trilogy. I don't think I liked how the third one ended. So I wasn't as psyched for it as some other
Yeah.
people were. But I think it'll be worth maybe rereading the full series and picking up that prequel and seeing what's going on.
Yeah. I think the most controversy that the ending caused was the fact that Katniss gets married to Peeta and has children.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things we learn about her in the first chapter is that she doesn't want to have kids. But we'll get to that in the episode that's about the first two chapters. But I'm looking at this cover and it's really interesting.
Yeah. So there's a songbird and a snake on it, and it looks like a pin. It looks like an artistic rendering of the pin that she normally wears. In any
Yeah.
case, welcome. Thank you so much. We are just doing this intro, so I'm wondering if we should wrap it up so we can get on to chapter 1 and 2 here. But did you have anything else to add, Lids, or anything else we wanted to say?
We have a new member of the team. Dylan Forehand is our audio producer now. He's also one of our friends.
All right.
So big thanks to him for making our lives a little bit easier and making the sound quality better for this season, because we're still recording on iPhones, and we will be for the foreseeable future. Ones. We're going to wrap this up now, and stay tuned for episode 1 or 16 of the new season, which is going to come out the same day as this one, as we did for the first one. Bloopers podcast episode of the Twilight series. I didn't say anything right in that sentence, but the bloopers episode is not going to be coming out anytime soon because I still have a lot of footage to sort through.
Oh, man.
So don't expect that before this season, but maybe later in the season, if we need to take a break for, Thanksgiving or Christmas or the stuff that we took breaks for last year. It's been almost a year since we started this.
I know.
Did you know that?
I know. I was listening to,
November.
I think it was our second episode, and we had just finished Thanksgiving, which is crazy. It's now October 5th, so right about the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully in the future we won't have as big of a break between seasons, but this one, a lot of stuff happened at once. But we're getting back on track, and we'll see you very soon for the next episode.
Don't touch that dial. Keep listening. It's coming at you next. Bye.
We need a new call sign. Bye.
What?